bolt are out. Now, I installed a stock boot, and this is going to protect the gun or the wood finish on the buttstock from any solvents that I may use, and also keep it from scratching in case I pull a rod out. First thing that we need to do is to get the bore good and wet with a good solvent. Now, what I'm going to use is a bristle brush, and I'm going to use a solvent on that. I think I will use this because it's a pump spray and it's very, very quick. Spray it on, get it good and wet. Going to insert it from the breech end and not from the muzzle end. All I want to do is to stroke this all the way in, back out, through the chamber, get it good and wet. That looked pretty good. Now, let's see what color our patch is going to be when I pull it out. All we're doing, we're not trying to clean the rifle. The rifle is going to tell us what we need to do to the bore. And it's going to do this with the color of the patch. If it is red, we know we have rust in it. If it is green, we also know that we have copper fouling. Let's take a look. Well, there's no red in it, so we don't have rust. But let's say that we do have rust. How would we treat that? We will take a copper bristle brush, and then we will apply this particular JB bore cleaner, which is a mild abrasive. We'll insert the brush with the JB bore cleaner and we'll scrub the bore. We're not trying to clean the bore, we're just trying to scrub the rust out. Then we will put in a dry patch. Pull the patch out, take a look at it. If it's still rusty, run the brush through again. Take one more dry patch, clean it out, then take your bore solvent, wet the patch down, a new patch by the way, a good fresh clean patch, scrub it out. That should do it. If it doesn't, just repeat the process until you get all the red out. Now, our patch looks pretty clean, except for we got a little bit of copper fouling. What I want to do is I want to run the brush through there one more time with the solvent. You notice I'm not getting fresh or a fresh brush. I don't need it at this point in time. All I'm trying to do is to get rid of that gray, coppery looking color out. Okay? You'll let it soak for a second. Now, I think what I will do, I want to try a clean patch, and I'm going to put it on a jag. What I want to do is kind of squeegee it out, see what we got for color. I think this should do it. This is our jag. I'm going to put a clean patch on. It's got a little spear point, and that will hold it. This is a dry patch. A little bit later I'll use a solvent if my color will so indicate. Okay. Now, with a jag, you run the patch all the way through and get it at the other end. If you try to pull the jag back with the patch on it, oftentimes it won't work. Here's the color. Well, we still got some brown color. You know what that indicates? That indicates fouling. It's carbon. We want to get rid of carbon. What did we use to get rid of carbon? A non-solvent, water-based, and they will attack the fouling. Okay, I think that I'll run one more patch through, but I'm not going to do it on camera. That's pretty good. I think I'll quit at that. It's reasonably clean, and I know that the bore is well protected and free of most of the carbon, if not all of it. Take another patch. This time I want to use some oil, and that way I know I'm going to protect it. I think I'll use a multi-purpose lubrication. Put it onto the jag. Roll it around, make sure that you have it on good and secure. Run it all the way down. Now a little bit is dripping out, and that's good. Bring it back. I want to check the color, just to make sure. Just a little bit of fouling. If I really wanted to be particular about it, I'd probably run another couple of patches through there. But this is good for hunting. We talked a little earlier about using a magazine brush. This happens to be for an automatic handgun, but it also works well for a box magazine on a rifle. I just want to get the dust and dirt out. Every once in a while, on some of your older guns, you'll have some dried residue, dried oil in there. We'll get that out. And if you don't feel comfortable about the rusting of the area, then put a light coat of rust inhibitor on here, or oil. Very lightly coat it. This is an area you don't want a lot of oil. Then you can inspect the follower and its spring. This looks pretty clean. Therefore, I don't think that I need any cleaning on it. But if yours has a little bit of rust on it, I'd take it out and clean it. The other area is the exterior surface. I will take my toothbrush and I will look in the sight area. Usually there'll be dust, lint, and sometimes dried oil in that area. And I will clean this area first without any solvent. If it doesn't work very well, then I'll take a water-based solvent. I'm not going to take a solvent that contains anything that may harm the wood finish on the stock. So use a water-based solvent at this. Clean it, looks pretty good. Now, there's a couple of areas that we haven't cleaned yet, and it's pretty important. One is the raceway on the inside where the bolt goes. Also in the camming area where the locking lugs of your bolt will face. This is a complete kit. This is a chamber brush, mainly to cleaning out the oil or carbon deposits. This one is a raceway and a locking bolt way cleaner. I'll show you how that they're done. Insert this. All you have to do, this is dry, there's no solvent on it, there's no oil. Run it in and out just a couple of times to get all the solvent or any oil that may have gone into the chamber. Take this, you can either use a water-based solvent, or you can use a little bit of multi-purpose cleaner. Not much, just a little bit. Insert it in, scrub the raceway. Now, I'm going to act just like I'm turning the bolt itself. I'm going to turn it, it's going to go down right into the raceways. Okay, clean. Looks pretty. Let's see what we've done. See if that was dirty. Let's pull it out. Yeah, look at that. That's going to reduce wear on the area that receives an awful lot of pressure. That's when you fire the gun. There's one more option that I would like to show you, and that's a rod guide. A lot of precision shooters or people that shoot high-powered magnums will use it. What we're going to do is to insert this from the rear. Going to take this off, and if you'll notice that there's a solvent port here. I'll show you what that's for in a minute. Run it into the chamber,